don't care about BTS. We're not trying to hide anything. Okay, we rolling?
We are rolling.
Okay, let's get this party started. So, Jeffery Allen, the world.
Jeffery Allen Imler. Can't go by Jeffrey Allen. I'll get into that story later.
Really? Excellent. Yeah. So I want you to introduce yourself to the world by playing a song. You seem ready. Can we do that? Let's do that. Go ahead.
Let it out, right?
Yeah, let it out. Let it rip, man.
Here's one I wrote called I Need a Pickup. It's been a long, hard day. Nothing's gone my way again. I need to clear my mind and get out this mess I'm in. Now everyone tells me what I need to do, but I got a six-pack chili. As I'm closing up the hood, I need to pick up, radio cranked up, dry myself till I face the truth. Maybe a back road to help with this load instead of turning back 90 proof. God and a stick shift is surely my fix, in this front seat's like a church pew. When the best of me starts to get worn down, I need a pickup. Quarter tank of gas, and I hope it'll last tonight. I ain't staying home, 'cause I don't wanna fight. I'ma lose more than this job when I give her the news. So I'm out here on this open road till I know what to do. I need a pickup, radio turned up, dry myself till I face the truth. Maybe a back road to help with this load instead of turning back 90 proof. God and a stick shift is surely my fix, in this front seat's like a church pew. 'Cause when the best of me starts to get worn down, I need a pickup. I need a pickup, radio turned up, dry myself till I face the truth. Maybe a back road to help with this load instead of turning back that 90 proof. God and a stick shift is surely my fix, in this front seat's like a church pew. I gotta find a way to turn this thing around, 'cause when the best of me starts to get worn down, I need a pickup. I need a pickup. Little something like that. I think I missed the bridge in it, but you get it.
Dude, that sounds amazing.
Thank you, brother.
That sounds amazing. Get yourself comfortable. Put that guitar down and pull that microphone in. Let's do a little chit chat.
Oh, where we gonna stand?
Wherever you want to put it.
Where all the excitement happens.
You get me set to. Yeah, please do. You just want to grab that thing and stick it near your mouth somewhere.
Oh.
All right. Yeah, something like that.
There we go.
Yeah, here we go.
How's that? You hear me good?
Yeah, I think we got you.
All right.
We got you. So, yeah, man, that's great. So, So you know who you're talking to right here, because we just met like 15 minutes ago, right?
Right.
We have a mutual friend in David St. Romain and his crew, so hence the musician connection. Right. So I'm the only person that I know, only formerly British person that listens to Eric Church while I drive around England when I visit my family. So I have a deep appreciation for country music. What is it about country music, do you think, that people enjoy so much? Because it's a real unique genre, isn't it?
It's unique to a certain extent. I think what's the most unique characteristic about it is that it comes from a real place that people can really relate to.
Yeah.
It's the raw form of it that people can connect to with the music and the style. You know, it really draws it out. You don't really get a whole lot of that connection, I think, with some of the rock songs. I love rock and roll. I love 80s rock, big hair bands. I like blues and all that stuff. I'll tell you something about that, my background in blues, whenever we get into that. Yeah. But, I think country music is definitely the style that's got the emotional connection, the truth behind it. They call it 3 chords and the truth for a reason. And I don't think it's just because of stories and how people sing it. I think the music, it kind of grabs that same truth and that element of it as well, And I think that's important. So it sells what you're trying to say. And if you can't believe what you're singing and what you want to say, and if it don't come from a true place, then don't waste your time. Not in country, at least.
So how did you get into this genre? How do you get into this? Because you're a singer-songwriter as well, right? You write your own stuff. So how'd you get into it?
Well, first I was just a singer because that's what I wanted to be. And then my dad has been in music. I grew up without my dad kind of in my life. After 6 months, he kind of had other things in life to go do, So, but I did know that he was in music and that he was pretty well accomplished for his time in Texas and all that, but I didn't know a whole lot about him. So
is that where you're from, Texas?
I'm from here. He was from Texas area, and then he lived down here whenever I was born.
Yeah.
He did some things then, and I just had this visions of grandeur, like most kids do when they don't know their parents, to be like, oh, my dad's this big country music singer, and I've heard some of his songs and stuff, and they're really great, and that's what I want to do, and all just put him on a pedestal kind of thing, because it's that absent thing,
Yeah.
And so
was he the only musical influence in your life when you were growing up?
No, so I also had a nanny at one point. She was my grandparents owned a business here in Baton Rouge, and I was raised by my grandparents. Thus, the whole family upbringing thing. I was raised by my grandparents, and that introduced me to that side of things. And I'll never forget her. Her name is Anna Mae, or was Anna Mae. She passed away a few years back. And believe it or not, that was actually Buddy Guy, the legendary blues player, Buddy Guy's sister, older sister. And so she used to be around the house singing, and when she's cleaning, doing things around the house, stuff like that. And then when it was summertime and all that, I'd be there when I'm not in school and just singing my little heart out to her, and I had no clue, nothing. You're young. I was probably like 5 or 6 years old, maybe probably a little older than that, 7 or 8.
Is that when you first got a guitar? How'd you get your first guitar? Tell me that story.
Believe it or not, my dad actually gave it to me. I was, I want to say I was like 12 years old or 9 years old, something like that, around that same time. And my dad actually came in town, and my mom allowed me to see him, and then he brought me a guitar, and didn't know how to tune it, didn't know nothing about music, no nothing. So I had my own tuning I made up, and I was playing songs and learning how to play stuff and writing songs on an untuned guitar, with not even knowing how to finger notes and stuff like that, making my own chords up and all. And so, that's when
you taught yourself?
Yeah, taught myself.
By ear?
All by ear, yeah. I don't know. No, I've never learned how to play guitar. So everything I do is, you can definitely hear it when I'm playing. It's nothing like some of our folks around here, like Brent Mason or Corbin Barnes, who's a great local guy that's a phenomenal guitar player, or Rustin Romano, he's a good buddy of ours too. I mean, some of these people just have this talent to just pull out. The way I feel about when I want to sing songs is how they play guitar, And so, but yeah, that's where I learned. I kind of taught myself how to play guitar, and then was big into music throughout my whole life, with band and choir throughout all of middle school and high school, and so on. And but yeah, so to get back to what kind of fueled it in the original part of this, in the country side of things, was that my dad was doing some things in music back in that time, and I didn't really have that relationship. So I finally just, like that pedestal thing like I was talking about, so then I started getting excited about the music part of that. And then I watched a movie, and I'll never forget it. It was that movie Pure Country with George Strait. You know which one I'm talking about?
I have not seen it, but carry on.
Because you were missing out on some classic, buddy.
All right.
So George Strait plays the character of a guy named Dusty. And
what's the name again?
It's called Pure Country.
Okay,
You got to watch it, bro.
George Strait, will you?
Yeah. And so that there's a part of that movie where he's on a back porch, and he's singing a song on the back porch, and he talks to angels and the stars start to spin. He thinks of trouble that he's gotten in. He recalls how his heart got broken and how it's still that way. You ever heard that? The King of Broken Hearts is what the name of the song is.
It's beautiful.
When he busted out with that song on that back porch with just that guitar and that scene, and that woman walked up, and I was sold from right then. I was like, singing country music is what I want to do.
Amazing.
That's it. I already had some of the tickles of my dad and what he was doing, these ideas of what he was doing out there without, and then that movie right there just sealed the deal. So after that, I just started focusing on country music and listening to a lot of the stuff then. And
what does that journey look like? So you decide,
it's rough.
Yeah. So you've done the whole Nashville thing.
I have, yeah.
So what does that journey look like for you?
Well, it started off with my dad. We finally started to make this relationship later on in life when I became more of an adult, and it was around the time I got my first marriage and I had my first child. So we started kind of mending things around then, and putting issues to rest and forgiveness, all the things that you need to kind of move forward healthily in life, And so I asked him, I said, look, what do you think about introducing me to the producer that you used in Nashville? Because he had already cut some really nice stuff up in Nashville with the legendary, he's actually in the steel guitar Country Music Hall of Fame. His name is Jim Best.
May I pause you there for a second? We're going to pick up the story in a second. But I've noticed a thing about musicians, especially accomplished ones, is you're very humble. So you said earlier, a couple of minutes ago, that my dad did some stuff in music. What was that he did?
So he recorded some songs. He had a #1 hit in Texas back in, oh my God, I don't even know when, because I haven't really kept up with that end of it. But I kind of focused on myself after a while, I realized that I had to let some of that stuff go, and he's living his life, and he was doing his thing, and I needed to make my own chapter in life, kind of thing,
Okay, so that took you to Nashville.
That took me to Nashville, and he was the stepping stone that introduced me to that. Him and some people, and it's funny that we're having this podcast, because about a week ago, the man that first believed in what I was doing in music back then, and this is, how long ago was that? Like 2008, maybe 2009. It might even be before that. But his name was Steve Carnett, and I just recently got a phone call from my sister who lives up in Illinois, because that's where all these folks are from, and that's where my dad lives now. That the guy that invested and believed in me in my beginning and got me my first 3 songs cut in Nashville with Jim Vest, and I'll tell you more about him. Is he actually got hit by a car on a construction site on the side of the highway, and lost his life to a travel trailer, a big rig trailer that was reaching for a cell phone and veered off into the construction lane and wiped him out. And it was very unfortunate. But I tell you, he was the kind of fellow that if you had a vision, you had a dream, it didn't matter what it took. He'd give the shirt off his back to try to give that gift to you, that sense of accomplishment, that opportunity to have that experience. And so
I just tell you, one of the reasons that I so became addicted to America when I was a kid is it became apparent very quickly that this is I think this is the only place in the world where it's not everyone, but people exist here that genuinely admire drive. If you've got an idea, you've got a passion, and you can translate that. There's people here that will help you get there, get behind it. Yeah.
That's right.
And he was one of those people.
He was definitely one of those people. Yeah. And so we went to Nashville. I got to meet Jim Vest. He played steel guitar for, the intro, Set 'Em Up, Joe. Set 'em up, Joe, play Walking the Floor.
I'm one of those. I'm terrible with names.
It's all right, brother. It's okay. Well, you get your dose of country today, and some old school country at that. So so he played a steel guitar on Tracy Lawrence Alibis. He was in a very famous band that was around Nashville at the time called the Nashville Fat Cats.
Okay.
And just very accomplished. He played with Johnny Paycheck. Toured around with him and stuff, Pee Wee King. He just, you name it, he's probably played music with him and done something.
You said you got 3 songs.
I did 3 songs with him, and then I've done more since then.
Fantastic. And can I ask you a stupid question?
Sure.
So it occurred to me that people experience places differently. based on the way that they think, the way that they
where they're at in their life.
yeah, exactly, where they're at in life. So like I'd go to Nashville and experience Nashville one day. What is Nashville like for a person that's working his way through the industry?
Oh, that's so different now than what it was when I did it. Because
what was it like when you did it?
Their seasons there are crazy.
The seasons.
What I mean seasons are seasons of music. I mean, you got what used to work for Vince Gill and people like that back whenever they were making it in the 90s and then stuff like that didn't work in the 2000s and then didn't work in 2010 and then now it doesn't work now. You know,
Can you give me some perspective on that? Why? What is that?
I guess it's more the style of music, how they approach it, your avenues to get discovered and found and what they're looking for, the type of talent, and just where the business is now, the whole way the business works. It adapts, it grows, you know, it changes. And what was a simplistic idea back then, people have honed through experience. These record labels have honed things through their experiences to be like, okay, well, now we can, and this is just an example. None of you record labels out there get mad. I'm not speaking on all of them. But like, let's just say that they loan out $2 million to get you as a breakout artist, right? Yeah. And out of that, they're going to get so much % of your money. And then you turn around and what you pay back to them doesn't come out of their money. It comes out of only your money. Yeah. Well, that's kind of an upside down business deal for folks like me or anybody else that's trying to break into that business.
Sure.
Right? So it just keeps the cards stacked against you. Back in the old days, it wasn't quite so much, you know, and especially with streaming platforms the way they are now and social media the way it is now. And you definitely know about that part of it, you know. It's a matter of whenever you used to get a gold album, well, that was $1.2 million right there off the bat. As soon as you went gold. Now it's people get the numbers of streams on songs, and your song is played and people listen to your songs 1 million times more than that, and you get fractions of the penny. I mean, it's not lucrative. It's not like it used to be. You're right, and so all those things have adapted the business. It's changed things. So whenever when I go to Nashville, not only has the business changed, but the town itself has changed. It's become very, very tourist. Very, very. When was the last time you went
to Nashville?
Yeah,
I go everywhere for work, so I wouldn't say I go to Nashville. I don't to stay there. I'm there for 3 days and I'm out.
I got you. But do you get the sense that it's very bachelorette trip and just people coming in? It's just tourist and party and
yeah. I think I see it from the consumption point of view. It's not somewhere that I immerse myself, you know. Right. So yeah, I definitely see the lights and the show, I guess.
Some of the things that made Nashville what it was and the history that was in it, like Printer's Alley and things like that, where I actually grew up cutting my teeth in town when I moved there. Those places are gone. Like, it's not like it used to be. The Fiddle and Steel Guitar Bar got shut down because an investor came out there and bought it out and put hotels only for it to fail. So I mean, it's just the history that made that town what it is, and all that tradition and stuff that was in Nashville, where a lot of the greatest songs you've ever heard that you never knew come from areas like that, just they're just drying up because it doesn't fit the mold of what Nashville is today, and it's becoming almost unobtainable because of the price to even be in that town.
So I come from the perspective that musicians, music is one of those things that it's everywhere. Mm-hmm. It's like texture to life. You know, don't care if you're going to the dentist, it's in the background. If I'm trying to edit something and there's a soundtrack in there, some music is everywhere. And not being a musician, I don't know exactly what people get made or how the pay structure works and stuff, but I just get the impression they're underpaid. There's too many musicians that are super talented that are not making good money. Okay,
well, that's true.
So I don't know what my question is. It's more just an observation. So, you know, how, like, what do you do with your music? Because clearly it's something you're going to do regardless, right?
I'll tell you, I do it because I love it. I don't do it for money. I don't do it because I'm trying to be successful. I don't have something that I'm out there trying to sell people, you know. And if I can help anybody at all become successful by having some small part of it, by providing them with a song that maybe I just don't have the sound for it, or it sounds better with somebody else doing it, then absolutely I'm gonna say, hey man, what do you think about the song? You want to do it? And then they'll cut it, or they'll put it on hold.
So how do you approach your music, like personally?
Emotionally.
It's
got to come from a place that's real. And if I do a writing session with somebody, that's one of my first things I'll ever tell somebody when I first sit down and write with them. I was like, look, this isn't going to be one of those sessions where it's just we're going to sit down and write about some idea that we think is going to be popular.
Yeah.
I want to know your story. I want to get into your background. I want to know your history. This is going to turn into a therapy session. And we're going to put you in this song. because you're the one that's going to be singing it. And if you don't believe it, then how do you expect anybody else to believe it? And I think that's an approach that most anybody that is a singer-songwriter should always take to a song.
A lot of creative people that I've met, and songwriters as well, they tend to get a little crazy because creative energy is insane sometimes.
And it's high.
How do you manage that?
Oh, well, I don't put myself in the environments where I get super over excited, I guess. I don't get over excited for deals or something like that, or if I'm going to play somewhere, I don't get super like, I can't believe I'm here. It's like I've been through a lot of those moments, and it just kind of, I guess that's where the humbleness comes from. It's like, I've seen some of the best well-primed situations that I thought for sure were going to take off completely fall on their face.
Yeah.
And I don't want to experience that low, that of being totally deflated and putting so much of myself into something and believing so much to be let down like that. So it's almost like a defense mechanism now after all the experiences.
Yeah, you don't get too happy on the good times. You don't get too sad on the sad times.
That's right. I mean, you gotta have control enough of your emotions to be able to know that when you get high like that, you want to talk about it. You want to go and tell everybody all these things that's going on and build yourself up. Only for now, you start to look like, was this guy full of mess? And when it doesn't come to fruition or something like that, And plus, they say that if you want something to not happen, the first thing you need to do is go talk about it to somebody.
Yeah, I find that people
hold your cards to your chest.
People talk about stuff when no one asks them to talk about it. Right. It's like our own version of therapy, right?
That's what makes this podcast kind of uncomfortable a little bit in some ways, because it's like you got to talk about it, And it's like, well, I don't normally talk about these things, but so you get me in rare form today.
We were having a conversation before it came up, and I stopped us, but we were talking about like music creation and AI and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So AI, what do you think about it?
Well, what do you think about it? Because I just heard it in your voice, so let me hear what you got first.
So I think that it's going to make the cost to produce creative things cheaper. So I think more people are going to have access to punch higher. I think it's going to have a filtering effect, if that's true. If it's true that people are going to be able to do more with less, I think that it's going to have a filtering effect where the people that show up are going to have to be significantly more talented because the bar for just good is going to rise.
That's right.
So I think that there's still a space for excellence on top. And I think that excellence is a human quality. I think AI can do bullshit stuff.
Absolutely.
And repetitive stuff. But I have been impressed when it comes to music creation. So we've started dabbling. The only thing we use AI for here, and it's dabbling at this point, is in the curation of musical scores. Now, I don't think that AI gets creepy when it gets emotive. And so if you take a photograph and you use AI to edit it, it's fine as long as the moment it starts to smile, it gets creepy. I find the same is true in a vocal that's generated by AI. It just doesn't sound like a human, right? It's lacking some. So I think that AI is capped at the line where it gets emotive. So things like instrumentals and things, I think it does a great job.
Powerful. It can grab that emotion, definitely.
So definitely. So I think in a score, I think it's got, and we're dabbling in that right now. Not vocals. I don't believe it can do vocals.
Well, I feel like you're using it in the right context, right? AI is a tool. So why not use it as a tool? But when you start to try to replace the human side of something,
true,
to make lyrics or to make a melody or to sing, as you're saying.
Well, to come up with the words.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So I think if you, now like with me, I'll use AI from time to time if there's an artist that's completely different from me.
Yeah.
I already have my work tape that I've made. I have the melody down, I have the lyrics down, I put all in there, and then I plug in some of the things that give me the elements that I'm looking for to really match the style of that artist.
Okay.
And then I'll go from there and I'll send that to them as a work tape. Say, hey man, what do you think about this style and this feel? I hear you doing this. Yeah. And then I let them run with it with their own artistic part of it, Yeah. It's kind of a bridge between my mentality of what I hear for it versus them. Because some of these artists, let's be honest, they're talented people, they can sing. But they don't have that thing in their brain that lets them be able to hear something outside of what's in front of them.
And AI allows you to generate something they can connect to.
And it helps you to reconnect that, bridge that gap, I think. And that's where I think the tool is best used. It's like in that emotional side of things, being able to get that sound out, the score, I guess you could say, to it. And then the part where it can bridge that gap between genres and mentalities or just the ability to hear things.
Yeah.
You know, it's I don't think it's ever going to take over what humans do, right? And the talent of actual writing. There is an element there that is just, as a songwriter, there's a bit of emotion there. That's the depthness there, and the way the brain works. At least for me, whenever I'm writing, drawing different elements together that fit in a way that's not expected, lyrically. Yeah. I think that's. I don't think that's something that music's going to be able, AI is going to be able to do without using or emulating something that has already been done, because that's really how it works, right?
Sure.
So without that component, I don't think that it's going to do very well. Like I'll take my songs that I'll make with AI now, right? Yeah. And I'm a stickler about it. I will put the words in myself, and I will put the melody in a work tape that I make in it, because that's what I want it to be. And I stick to that. I'll try just for fun, just to see what it comes up with. Whenever I say, okay, we'll get away from the melody a little bit. Let me see what you come up with. Mm-hmm. 9 times out of 10, it's like, oh, well, I wasn't feeling that, But it's good to, it kicks a gear in to say, make you, as a songwriter, to think in a little bit different way, in a different perspective about your own music. Because we have a habit to get stuck in a vein. We get habit to get stuck in emotion. And sometimes this can break that mold that you have set, of those boundaries that you have in your brain.
Yeah, it's not good enough for the it's not good enough for this the stage, or but it's good enough to open up your eyes to maybe how it sounds a different way.
That's right.
Yeah,
it's a tool, right? You use it as a tool. I think where people mess up is where they start trying to use this in a way that they have their own channels on stations on like Spotify, and they're streaming completely AI'd songs. And now you've got worship songs that are hitting in like number 1 in the country and stuff like that, and people making money. Now, there's a lot of people that have a lot to say about that. I'm not going to comment on it because I don't know where it's really headed. I have my own intuitions about it. But I do feel like it's just like, think of it like this. When we went to CDs, everybody was mad because it was getting away from the authentic sound of tapes and things like that. But it was supposed to be much more clear. Then you have your sect of people that are vintage, that go to the old records. Mm-hmm. Right? There's a different feel, there's a different element to it, and it's a more nostalgic kind of thing about that, right? Yeah. But there's an element to that can't be replicated on a CD or on a stream, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that's what's going to be the difference between some of these people that in the future that's going to come with this AI. You're going to have people that can appreciate the AI and listen to it, and they make it a number 1 song that's streamed out there on Spotify or iTunes or whatever. And then you're going to have those of us that are traditional that says, man, I'm not going to even participate, entertain that. I don't even want to listen to it, because I feel like that takes away from the artistry and the hard work and the people who go behind the scenes.
One thing AI can never do is get up on stage and just crush a show.
You're right.
So speaking of which, where do you play?
I play some shows locally and things like that. I have some friends that usually get me up there when they're playing big festivals and things like that, and they'll get me up there to play some songs with them, do an acoustic opening act for people. I've kind of stepped away from being the center of attention, spotlight, main show type stuff. I've kind of stepped away from that. I find that it gives
me... that humility again?
Well,
it's like I'm stepping away, which means that you did for a while, which is kind of awesome.
I loved it. And look, and there's no high better than whenever you're in an audience, on stage in front of an audience, and you're singing your songs, and people are just loving it, and the applause you get after that, and it's just that there's no better feeling. But I find that, again, those big highs and those big lows, it's a pendulum. It's got to have a balance, and as high up you go on that wave is how high you're going to go down in that trough. And it's an emotional roller coaster.
How do you keep yourself grounded?
I don't let myself get too high.
It's just you're just willing it. You're white knuckling it.
Yeah, man. I go where I fit in, and I don't try to overdo it. I don't put myself in a position where I want to be the center of attention as much as a lot of people who are super hungry for it. Yeah. I've lived that. I'm 43 years old now. I've got 3 grandbabies now. So it's just my focus has switched to just being. I love my hobby. I love doing the music stuff, and I love what I can do for other people, and I want to see everybody around me succeed. I really do. And that's not just saying that. I mean, I genuinely put any song that I have that anybody hears that they like, and they come to me, Jeff, man, you think I can cut that song? Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow. Yeah, I never tell somebody no. I'm not one of them people who's like, well, this song might be great. I might have this artist might cut it. They're in talks right now, which are situations that I'm in. But I'm not going to sit there and say, hey, well, I don't want you to cut this song because I don't want to ruin this opportunity here. It's like, man, I don't think a song can have too many legs. You know, it's like fishing. You're out there fishing, you got 10 poles, but you want to throw one in the water. You know, I'm going to catch as many fish as I can, you know.
I believe that things happen when they're supposed to. Like, my wife always gets on me. She's like, opportunity, like, you should do this. And I'm like, I'm not leveraging that opportunity. It'll happen when it's supposed to. It'll come to you. Is that an age thing?
No, it's a God's time thing.
It's a God's time thing.
That's it. And that's what you're touching on, man. I'm a firm believer that the good Lord put me right where I'm supposed to be.
Exactly. Yeah.
And he's blessed me in certain ways of all and this is what's great about it. All the things that I was doing the music for originally, all the fame and the money and the attention and the leaving a legacy, stuff like that, and to have a nice house and have all these, you know, just all this success that surrounds this music of what we all portray music being, and what the litmus test to what's success in the business. The good Lord has already blessed me with those things without having to go that route.
Yeah.
And so what better way than to honor him by taking what I do musically and start doing it for him, and in a way that's you know, charity type of thing, you know, or just to help other people out. I sing at church as often as I can. You know, I'm part of the worship team over there at a church there in Zachary, Louisiana, and I'm blessed enough for them to want me to be a part of that. And you know, those type of things satisfy. Having other people cut my songs, seeing them on stage, them giving me the shout outs from here every now and then, you know, that satisfies me. That makes me feel like, okay, I'm dabbling enough in it that makes me feel like I'm making my own mark. I don't have to be the biggest fish in the pond. Okay. I'm just glad to be swimming.
Dude, I'm going to end it there because I feel it in your vibe, man. You've got a real genuineness to you that I appreciate, man. It's been a pleasure to meet you.
You too, brother.
Nice to watch, dude.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. You like that?